Hollywood, where every love story becomes the center of media attention. But in that glittering light, not every marriage is pure and comes from true feelings. There are weddings considered fairy tales, but they fall apart after only a few days. There are relationships that are suspected to be nothing more than a PR stunt, a secret contract to keep their names on the front page. Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries' 72-day marriage, wedding or billion-dollar TV campaign. In 2011, the entire entertainment world was drawn into one of the most sensational events of the decade. Kim Kardashian married basketball player Kris Humphries in a lavish fairy tale wedding broadcast on the reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. From the wedding dress, guests, location, to every touching moment, everything was meticulously filmed, broadcast on television, and created an unprecedented rating explosion. Tens of millions of global viewers watched. But just 72 days later, Kim filed for divorce. No big scandal, no specific reason, just not compatible. A reason too vague for a marriage that was elaborately built like an A-list show. The public was immediately angry. From fans to experts, everyone wondered, is this love real? And then a series of articles, analyses, and criticisms poured in, calling this a TV stunt, a perfect TV drama staged to make money. In fact, the Kardashian family, who are masters at turning private life into revenue, earned tens of millions of dollars from wedding broadcasting rights, advertising contracts, images, and global attention. The wedding is not just a personal event, but a giant media campaign with scripts, directors, and profits calculated down to the minute. As for Kris Humphries, he quickly became a forgotten supporting role after the divorce. Meanwhile, Kim continued to firmly maintain her position at the peak of fame, gradually transforming from a reality TV star to a billionaire and a global cultural icon. Although Kim has repeatedly denied that the wedding was a ruse, it is hard to ignore the fact that this is one of the most successful showbiz marriages of all time. Not in terms of love, but in terms of commerce and brand strategy. The marriage between Kim and Kris is not just a story of two people, but a typical example of how showbiz can direct love as long as it has high ratings and money pouring in continuously. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, fairy tale marriage or exposed media contract. Topping the list of Hollywood's most controversial marriages is none other than Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. The love affair started like in a movie. The A-list action star and the young actress, sweet as morning sunshine, walking together. The climax was a grand wedding at an ancient castle in Italy in 2006, where the whole world seemed to stop to watch the dreamy ending of the powerful couple. However, behind the pure white wedding dress and perfect smiles are a series of questions that never have a clear answer. From the beginning, public opinion has asked, is this really love or just a carefully staged play? The strange appearance of the Scientology sect, a controversial religious organization of which Tom Cruise is an active member, has further raised doubts. Many sources in the entertainment industry believe that Scientology has contributed to this relationship as a PR campaign to clean up Cruise's image, after a series of strange scandals that caused him to be shunned for a while. As for Katie Holmes, she went from being a B-list actress with a normal career to suddenly becoming the hottest name in Hollywood. Just after a praise from Tom Cruise on Oprah, Katie officially stepped into the light, where the spotlight was always pointed straight at her. However, despite the lavish wedding, their married life was always kept secret. And then, in 2012, just 6 years after the wedding, Katie Holmes suddenly filed for divorce, completely quietly. Without a press release, without speaking to the media, she left quietly, taking her daughter Suri with her and gaining full custody of her. Katie's disappearance from Tom Cruise's life was not just a legal decision, but a silent confirmation that this marriage was anything but ordinary. Many observers called it the end of the media contract. Tom Cruise did not speak out. Scientology also kept silent. But everyone understood. This was no longer a simple love story. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, Bennifer 2.0. Breaks up in early 2025, Ben Affleck, Oscar-winning actor and director, and Jennifer Lopez, singer, actress, global icon, were once considered a true fairy tale love story of Hollywood. The two dated since 2002, got engaged and broke up in 2004, before suddenly reuniting in 2021. The return of Bennifer after nearly 2 decades caused a global media explosion, and their wedding in the summer of 2022 was considered one of the most interesting entertainment events at that time. During their 2 years together as husband and wife, Ben and Jennifer Lopez continuously appeared at major events, from the red carpet of Met Gala, Oscar, to movie premieres. Their image was once praised as a symbol of mature love, as the two experienced many ups and downs before finding each other again. Lopez has repeatedly called the marriage the happy ending of her life, while Affleck has also affirmed that Lopez has brought balance in the days when he had to face the pressure of his career and personal life. However, in August 2024, Jennifer Lopez suddenly filed for divorce on the grounds of irreconcilable differences. Despite many rumors, the two officially completed the procedure on January 6, 2025. According to the agreement, neither party has to pay alimony, and the division of assets, including the shared villa, was resolved privately and peacefully. After the divorce, both spoke up to affirm that there was no scandal or scandal, but simply a difference in life views and the amount of time spent together. Affleck shared that the media often exaggerates everything, while in reality, there is nothing dramatic, just the normal conflicts of a relationship. Lopez admitted that the broken marriage made her reflect deeply, and at the same time helped her realize the value of self-love in moving forward. Currently, Jennifer Lopez spends a lot of time on her artistic career with music and film projects, especially the movie Kiss of the Spider-Woman, where Ben Affleck is still the producer. Although they are no longer married, they still maintain professionalism and respect for each other. Ben Affleck focuses more on his family, especially his 3 children with ex-wife Jennifer Garner, and is said to have started dating again, but in a discreet, quiet way. The end of Bennifer 2.0 makes global fans regretful, because the love affair that lasted more than 2 decades with many breakups and reunions was once expected to have a perfect ending. But as Jennifer Lopez herself once said, sometimes love doesn't go away. It just changes shape, and when one door closes, another opens. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom were once considered one of the most powerful and romantic couples in Hollywood. They met in 2016 at a Golden Globes after-party, quickly becoming the center of attention with their affectionate appearances. Although they briefly broke up in 2017, they reunited in 2018, got engaged on Valentine's Day 2019, and welcomed daughter Daisy Dove in August 2020. A grand wedding in Japan was expected, but was postponed due to the pandemic. For many years, Katy and Orlando have been together at major events from the Oscars to the 2024 MTV VMAs, creating a feeling of a strong love. But behind the spotlight, work pressure, overlapping schedules, and geographical distance have gradually distanced the two. The cracks quietly accumulated, and on June 26, 2025, People magazine confirmed that they had officially gone their separate ways after nearly 9 years together, including 6 years of engagement. In a joint statement on July 3, 2025, Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom affirmed that they would continue to work together as co-parents, putting stability, love, and respect as the foundation for raising their daughter Daisy Dove. Both also emphasized that this breakup was not the end of a relationship, but a transition to another form of attachment, family, but in a new way. After the breakup, Katy Perry focused on the Lifetime's tour, showing her radiant energy and inherent optimism. She also shared many happy moments with friends, traveling and enjoying life while always being present as a loving mother. Orlando Bloom, on the other hand, finds solitude with his travels, inspirational messages on social media, and a balanced approach to fatherhood. Although no longer lovers, Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom have proven that it is possible to part ways in a civilized, peaceful manner. And most importantly, always keeping Daisy Dove at the center of every decision. A chapter of love has ended, but a new journey of family has begun. Nicolas Cage and Lisa Marie Presley, 107-day marriage, fan marries idol daughter, or just a strange PR move. In 2002, Hollywood exploded when Nicolas Cage, the Oscar-winning actor with an eccentric personality, officially married Lisa Marie Presley, the only daughter of King of Rock and Roll, Elvis Presley. This event attracted attention not only because of the popularity of both, but also because of the factor of fan marries idol. Nicolas Cage has long been a crazy fan of Elvis. The fact that he married the daughter of his childhood idol made the media speculate, and the public couldn't help but feel confused. However, that famous wedding only lasted exactly 107 days. Cage filed for divorce while the aftershocks of the wedding party had not yet cooled down. No scandal, no public argument, no critical statements, just a simple breakup. And so all the lights were on. Is this a marriage for fame rather than true love? At that time, Lisa Marie Presley was no longer at the peak of her fame. After her famous but failed marriage to Michael Jackson, she almost disappeared from the spotlight. As for Nicolas Cage, although he had a solid career, he was always known for his unique choices, from his roles to his personal life. The marriage with Presley brought both of them a lot of attention that perhaps they both needed. The press called this an unbelievable marriage between a crazy fan and the daughter of a legend, between two strong and equally eccentric personalities. But it was those similarities that did not keep them together for long. Cage once shared briefly after the divorce, "We never should have gotten married in the first place." A bitter confession, as if he also realized that he was just living the dream of a fanboy, not a real husband. Whether the love between them was real or not, it cannot be denied. Both benefited from this marriage. Presley became the center of media attention after a long period of silence, while Cage continued to shock with his unpredictable private life. The question, were they ever really in love, will probably forever remain a mystery, like Nicolas Cage's twisting career. Britney Spears and Jason Alexander, 55-hour marriage, rash decision or peak PR shot. In 2004, the world was stunned when Princess of Pop Britney Spears suddenly married her childhood friend, Jason Alexander, in a quick wedding ceremony in Las Vegas. No gorgeous wedding dress, no famous guests, just an impromptu decision after a night of partying. And then, just 55 hours later, Britney filed for an annulment, officially making her name in the history of Hollywood's shortest marriages. The story immediately dominated the newspapers. Britney was at the peak of her fame with a series of hits, but her image began to show signs of being stereotyped. A sweet, well-behaved teen star. Therefore, this lightning-fast decision to get married was considered a bold media push, forcing the world to look at Britney in a different way, rebellious, reckless, and unpredictable. Although the singer later said it was just a moment of youthful indiscretion when she wanted to try the feeling of being an adult, the public was still skeptical. The media quickly called this a marriage stunt, a marriage carefully calculated to keep Britney's name hot in the press. And reality proved it. In just a few days, her image appeared everywhere, from talk shows to magazines. Jason Alexander, from a friend that few people knew, also became a sought-after name overnight. However, that halo did not last long. After the marriage was annulled, he almost disappeared from the entertainment industry, only occasionally appearing in interviews to recall the incident as a legend. For Britney, this was just the beginning of a series of rebellious actions later, from the wedding with Kevin Federline to the shocking head shaving in showbiz. But to observers, the 55-hour wedding with Jason Alexander will forever be a symbol of calculated impulsiveness, a PR move that could not be more perfect, helping Britney smash her old image and redefine herself. Kaya Gerber, Austin Butler split in early 2025. Kaya Gerber, daughter of legendary supermodel Cindy Crawford, and Austin Butler, the actor who made a global splash playing Elvis Presley in the movie Elvis. 2022 were once one of Hollywood's most beloved couples. They started dating in late 2021 and quickly became the center of media attention for their chemistry and trendy style. During their 3 years together, Kaya and Austin regularly appeared at major events from the Oscar red carpet, Met Gala to movie premieres. The two were hailed as Hollywood's new golden couple with a youthful, luxurious, and attractive image. Kaya once shared that Austin was her strong spiritual support, while Butler repeatedly confided that his girlfriend helped him balance his life between the spotlight and the pressure of his career. However, in early 2025, many major newspapers confirmed that Kaya Gerber and Austin Butler had gone their separate ways. According to close sources, the breakup took place peacefully without any conflicts or scandals. The reason given was simply that the relationship has run out busy schedules, less and less time for each other, causing them to gradually drift apart. Kaya is currently focusing more on her international modeling career, while Austin continues with film projects after the resounding success of Elvis. Although they are no longer together, the two still maintain a friendly and respectful friendship. This breakup makes many fans regretful because in the eyes of the public, Kaya and Austin are a beautiful testament to a love that is both romantic and lasting in the spotlight. But as the insiders themselves shared, sometimes love has its limits and breaking up does not mean losing respect. Kanye West and Bianca Censori are one of the most complicated yet captivating love affairs in Hollywood in recent times. They met when Bianca, a talented Australian architect, joined the Yeezy Company in 2020 and immediately became a source of creative inspiration and a muse in many of Kanye's musical and artistic projects. The bond between them gradually deepened, and in December 2022, the couple secretly held a private wedding ceremony in California, ending years of quiet but sweet dating. However, this love was not without its ups and downs. In early 2025, rumors of a breakup began to spread when Kanye continuously made controversial statements, causing tension in the relationship. Bianca is said to have temporarily left seeking space and peace amid the pressures of work, media, and personal life. Kanye also revealed his feelings through the song Bianca, in which he mentioned the feeling of emptiness and nostalgia, making the public even more curious about the reality of their relationship. However, after many stormy weeks, the couple appeared together at a restaurant in Spain and then shared affectionate moments on social media, from warm hugs to dancing in the sunset. This shows that despite misunderstandings and tensions, they still maintain a deep spiritual and emotional connection. Sources said that their relationship is still complicated under pressure from art scandals and control, but both try to maintain a balance, showing through being together in work projects and personal life. The relationship between Kanye and Bianca is a testament to a love that is both fragile and enduring, where storms and rumors cannot erase all the emotions, connections, and sweet moments they have shared. This is an emotional journey, both challenging and romantic, making the public follow every development with a heavy heart and full of curiosity. Renee Zellweger and Kenny Chesney, 4-month marriage, the fake reason that caused a storm and suspicions of a media drama. In 2005, the world of showbiz was shocked when Renee Zellweger, an Oscar-winning actress, famous worldwide for her role as Bridget Jones, suddenly married Kenny Chesney, America's top country music star. The couple had almost no signs of public dating before, so when the news of their marriage was announced, the press immediately rushed to dig deep, and fans were stunned. Only 4 months after the wedding, Renee filed for an annulment. But the most controversial thing was the reason listed in the petition: fraud. This is a rather heavy legal term, often used when one party feels deceived about something fundamental in the relationship. Immediately, the media and public opinion were in an uproar. What is cheating? What did Chesney hide? Or was this love never real? While Zellweger kept the details secret, paparazzi and entertainment bloggers raced to launch a series of hypotheses, from gender suspicions to the huge difference in lifestyle, or the two simply rushed into marriage for the spotlight effect. At that time, both Renee and Kenny were at the peak of their careers, but had no explosive media projects. The marriage, and then divorce, immediately pushed them into the center of the news that summer. The images of both were all over the newspapers, from fashion magazines to morning talk shows. Although no one publicly admitted this was a trick, the way everything happened, too fast, too mysterious, and then ended with the word cheating, made the public unable to help but suspect. Both of them later avoided mentioning this marriage. Zellweger simply said that we didn't really know each other and that it was a wrong decision. Meanwhile, Chesney also affirmed that the two still respect each other and want to put the past behind them. Whether their love story is true or not, it is clear that this 4-month marriage has become one of the most famous dramas in Hollywood. And fraud, just one word, is enough to turn this breakup into an unsolved mystery, causing the media and fans to talk about it for many years after. Nicolas Cage and Erica Koike, 4-day marriage, impulsive drunkenness or calculated media strategy. In 2019, Nicolas Cage, one of the most unusual actors in Hollywood, shocked the public when he married Erica Koike, a makeup artist he had only dated for a very short time. The wedding took place in Las Vegas, a typical specialty of hasty relationships in the American entertainment industry, and just 4 days later, everything was over. Cage filed for an annulment and gave an unexpected reason. "I was too drunk and was forced to get married." The information spread quickly, creating a wave of controversy and sarcasm across the newspapers. Some people may sympathize and call this a mistake in a moment of loss of control. But for many others, especially those who follow Nicolas Cage's career, this is a strange PR move, but extremely effective. Because before that, Cage had gone through a long period of silence, with a declining career, unimpressive roles, and almost disappeared from the celebrity rankings. Then, with just a wedding and a divorce petition in less than a week, the name Nicolas Cage immediately returned to the global news. From entertainment news sites to social networks, everyone mentioned him, not because of a top role, but because of a decision beyond imagination. The question is, was this really just a moment of impulsiveness? Or did Nicolas Cage himself, who was once famous for his unconventional choices, see the media value in a personal failure? Although there is no official answer, the effect that this event created is undeniable. The 4-day marriage between Cage and Koike, after all, there was no clear winner or loser. But in terms of media coverage, it is undeniable. It was a timely explosion, bringing Nicolas Cage back to the showbiz map with just a seemingly crazy decision. But very Cage. Scott Wolf and Kelly Wolf were once the epitome of enduring and sacrificial love in the entertainment industry. With 21 years of togetherness since meeting through a mutual friend in 2002 and marrying in May 2004. They built a happy family together in Santa Monica before moving to Park City, Utah, where they raised 3 children, Jackson Miller and Lucy. Throughout those years, the two experienced ups and downs, but still maintained harmony and respect for each other, creating an image of a close, warm family in the eyes of the public. However, on June 10, 2025, they announced their separation after more than 2 decades together. Kelly shared on Instagram that this decision came after a long, hopeful, and patient journey, emphasizing that Scott is still a great father and that their top priority is the happiness and peace of their 3 children. Just 3 days after the announcement, Scott filed for a temporary restraining order against Kelly in temporary custody of the children following a family dispute that landed Kelly in a psychiatric hospital. Temporary custody was granted to Scott and their relationship immediately became strained. The divorce became a complicated legal journey with many serious allegations. Scott accused Kelly of fabricating false allegations against him, including child abuse and endangerment to gain an advantage in the custody battle, while Kelly denied them and expressed feelings of loneliness, isolation, and loss of almost everything except her life. A Utah judge later overturned the temporary restraining order and signed a temporary agreement that granted Scott custody of the children, while Kelly was granted supervised visitation, but tensions and misunderstandings between the two remained. Despite the painful conflicts and upheavals, Scott and Kelly share a common goal: to create a stable, loving environment for their children and to find peace and happiness for themselves. Their separation is not only a story of broken love, but also a testament to the responsibility and unconditional love of parents towards their children, as both must learn to balance personal feelings with family obligations. Against this backdrop, Scott and Kelly Wolf's relationship remains an emotional journey, both heartbreaking and hopeful, that vividly depicts the challenges and resilience of love and marriage. Mamie Gummer, a familiar actress on screen, and also the daughter of the legendary Meryl Streep, was once considered to have a peaceful marriage with screenwriter Mehar Sethi. The two got married in 2019 and quickly welcomed their first son in early 2019, bringing great joy to the family. In the public eye, Mamie and Mehar are a private couple rarely showing off their private life, focusing mainly on their artistic work and taking care of their young children. However, behind that silence, their relationship has long been broken. According to court documents, Mamie Gummer and Mehar Sethi have actually been living apart since May 2023. In February 2025, Gummer officially filed for divorce, ending the marriage after nearly 6 years together. In the petition, she stated the reason as irreconcilable differences and requested shared custody of their son. A close source said the separation process was quite peaceful, without much media attention, in keeping with the discreet style of both. For Mamie, the biggest priority is still to keep the child in a stable and loving environment from both parents. Meanwhile, Mehar continues to work as a screenwriter in Hollywood, while Mamie focuses again on television and theater projects. Although they broke up after many years of living together, the two are said to still maintain a cooperative relationship in raising their children. This incident also brought more public attention to Mamie Gummer, not only because she is Meryl Streep's daughter, but also because she is continuing to write her own life story, stepping out of the family's shadow to assert herself even in private decisions. Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Esposito, the unexpected 4-month marriage. Career leverage or the end of a faded love? In the list of Hollywood's shortest marriages, Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Esposito certainly occupy a prominent position. Few people remember that the actor got married in late 2006, when his name was still struggling in the early stages of his career. His wife at that time was Jennifer Esposito, a beautiful actress who had appeared in a number of TV series and movies, but was not too prominent. Their wedding took place quietly, with almost no fanfare. However, what startled the public was that just 4 months after the wedding, Jennifer Esposito suddenly filed for divorce. No explanation, no scandal, no back and forth in the press. Both kept absolutely silent, leaving countless speculations from the media and fans. At that time, Bradley Cooper was not yet the A-list star he is today. It was this sudden and failed marriage that brought him more attention. The press began to investigate his private life, learn about his past, and predict his future, all of which unintentionally created a stream of interest that helped him rise faster in the entertainment industry. Some people think that this could be a trial marriage, or even a secret deal for both sides to benefit. Jennifer got more media coverage, and Bradley got closer to the spotlight. However, it could also be simply a relationship lacking commitment, when the two realized they were not really suitable after only a few months of living together. Whatever the truth, this short-lived marriage still played a significant role in Bradley Cooper's journey to fame. And although he never shared the reason for the breakup, looking at his flourishing career afterward, people cannot help but wonder, was that first stumble a hidden stepping stone for a big star? Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock, a glamorous wedding, a 4-month marriage, or a media show? In 2006, Pamela Anderson once again stirred up the media when she suddenly married Kid Rock, a rebellious rock singer who was equally famous for his reckless behavior. The couple held a lavish wedding on a yacht in Saint-Tropez, France, amidst the deep blue sea and sky and a series of cameras. Everything was calculated to attract maximum attention from the global media. However, all that halo quickly faded. Only 4 months after the wedding, the two announced their divorce, ending their marriage to the surprise of the public. No big scandal, no one cheating, no specific shock, simply breaking up. And so the press had the opportunity to dissect, is this a pre-planned PR trick? At that time, Pamela Anderson was struggling to maintain her popularity after the peak of Baywatch, while Kid Rock was preparing to release a new album. The public announcement of their relationship, followed by a quick marriage, was the perfect way for both of them to get on air. And in fact, their names were all over the newspapers for a long time, just like the script of a carefully orchestrated media campaign. However, behind that halo was a lack of connection and a huge difference in lifestyle. Kid Rock still had the wild rocker spirit, while Pamela, although rebellious, had begun to want a more stable life. This difference quickly disillusioned them after a few months together. The public did not spare criticism, calling this marriage a PR show, where every emotion was suspected to be scripted. However, one thing is undeniable. The couple achieved their goal. Both attracted media attention when they needed it most. As for love, perhaps only a very small part, if not to say, non-existent. Gleb Savchenko and Brooks Nader were once one of the most publicized couples as they were often seen on red carpets and at entertainment events. Gleb, a professional dancer and choreographer from Dancing with the Stars, met Brooks, a famous model and influencer, in 2020 at a charity event, and their relationship quickly became entwined. They shared many sweet moments on social media, from lavish trips to rehearsals and performances together, making fans constantly follow their every move. However, in early 2025, rumors of a rift appeared. Sources close to them revealed that the geographical distance and the busy schedules of both were the main causes of the conflict. Brooks spent most of her time at photo shoots and events in New York, while Gleb was constantly traveling between Los Angeles and his tours, making it difficult for them to maintain the connection they had. Before small disagreements gradually became serious, and in the end they decided to part ways amicably, respecting each other and avoiding the noise in the media. After the breakup, Gleb focused on her dancing career, expanding her dance classes and participating in television projects, while Brooks continued to develop her modeling and influencer career, taking advantage of the opportunity to assert herself. Although they are no longer a couple, the two remain friends, respect each other, and sometimes appear together at social events. The story of Gleb and Brooks is proof that breaking up is not always a painful end, but sometimes a way for both to regain balance, freedom, and continue to pursue their own passions while keeping sweet memories of their once brilliant love. Amaya Espinal and Brian Arenales were once considered the perfect couple of Love Island USA Season 7. They conquered the audience with their chemistry, sweet moments, and together stepped up to the championship, becoming the first Latino couple to win in the history of the show. Brian even moved fans when he did not hesitate to split the 100,000 prize, with Amaya reinforcing the image of a dreamy love story coming out of a reality show. However, just a few weeks after the halo, everything turned in a different direction. Fans discovered that Amaya and Brian suddenly unfollowed each other on Instagram, deleted a series of affectionate photos, and Amaya even shared a status full of hidden meanings about not wanting to have her heart broken again. Rumors that Brian had an ambiguous relationship outside caused the online community to explode in controversy. At the reunion on August 25, 2025, Brian had to face the suspicion of betrayal. He denied the affair, calling it a mistake as a bartender, and insisting that the two had worked things out. However, just 2 days later, Amaya officially confirmed the breakup on Instagram. Story: Brian and I are no longer together. After leaving the villa, we realized that we were on two different paths. A relationship needs to be a team sport, and I wish you all the best, not stopping there. Amaya continued to reveal that right after the breakup, Brian quickly appeared in Miami to party with someone else, which hurt her because she had clearly stated what hurt her. As for Brian, he remained silent for the most part, leaving only a brief message saying that the two no longer shared the same vision and that he still wished Amaya the best. This quick breakup shocked the audience. From a love story hailed as true love, Amaya and Brian quickly became clear proof that love in reality shows often has difficulty overcoming the challenges of real life. Jessica Simpson and Eric Johnson were once one of the most admired marriages in Hollywood. They met in 2010, quickly fell in love, and got married in July 2014. During nearly 11 years of living together, the two built a happy home with 3 children. Maxwell Drew Ace Newt and Bertie Mae Jessica often shared that Eric was a man who understood and accompanied her on her journey to overcome personal and career changes. However, in early 2025, Jessica Simpson surprised everyone when she announced on social media that she and Eric Johnson had decided to go their separate ways. According to Jessica, they had been living separately for a while before officially announcing this news. The singer emphasized that the decision to break up did not stem from a dramatic conflict, but was a calm choice after many years of trying to reconcile. Most importantly, both agreed that the happiness and stability of their three children were the top priority. In her statement, Jessica affirmed that she and Eric still maintain a respectful relationship, taking care of and raising their children together. A close source revealed that the separation was amicable, with no disputes over assets or child custody. For Jessica, this was a difficult but necessary transition to regain personal balance, while Eric continued his role as a devoted father. This ending made many fans regretful because they once believed that Jessica Simpson and Eric Johnson were models of lasting love. However, it was the straightforwardness and gentle handling of both that left a positive impression. Sometimes love can change, but responsibility for family and maturity and behavior are what last forever. Jamie Foxx and Alice Huckstep were once a couple that constantly attracted media attention, with intimate appearances and trips together. Alice, an Australian model, was seen as the beauty accompanying Jamie during the actor's comeback period after health and career events, creating an image of a love that was both romantic and supportive of each other. However, in early 2025, rumors of a breakup began to spread, reported by many major newspapers such as Page Six and People. Although there was no official announcement, close sources said that the relationship had quietly ended before that, with the decision based on both wanting to focus on their own careers and balance their personal lives. There was no noise or conflict. The breakup took place in silence, true to Alice's quiet style and Jamie's calm demeanor. After the breakup, Jamie Foxx focused on film and music projects, using this time to reaffirm himself and his career, while Alice Huckstep continued her modeling career, keeping her distance from the spotlight and the media. Although they are no longer a couple, their relationship still leaves a mark of mutual respect, showing that sometimes breaking up is not the end of conflict, but a way for both to find peace, freedom, and happiness. This quiet moment in the midst of noisy Hollywood makes fans see another picture of love, not always noisy and dramatic, but sometimes a respectful and graceful farewell, when both choose to keep beautiful memories but move forward in their own way. Carmen Electra and Dennis Rodman, the 9-day marriage that shocked the entertainment world. True love or a sophisticated PR? In 1998, Hollywood was stunned when Carmen Electra, the sex symbol of the 90s, suddenly married Dennis Rodman, the rebellious NBA basketball superstar in Las Vegas. No one understood what was going on, but things were even more shocking when, just 9 days later, Rodman filed for an annulment, citing lack of sanity when getting married. Carmen Electra, famous at that time for her hot role in Baywatch and a series of hot photos in Playboy, was already a media sensation. Meanwhile, Rodman was famous for his rainbow-colored hair, crazy lifestyle, and constant shocks in the sports world. Both were media bombs, and when they got together, everything seemed to explode. The wedding was held in a small chapel in Las Vegas, hastily, without any fuss. It was more of a joke than a major event. Just a few days later, newspapers everywhere reported that Rodman regretted it, claiming that he was not sober when he got married and wanted to cancel the marriage. Public opinion immediately suspected that this was just a PR stunt. The couple appeared frequently in the media, becoming the center of discussion. Many people thought, true love is too fleeting, but if it was a script, it was too perfect. Later, Electra admitted that the two had real feelings, but everything happened too quickly, like a whirlwind, and no one had time to understand what had happened. Although it only lasted 9 days, this short marriage had left a deep mark in showbiz history, as a symbol of impulsive love and the power of the media. Jennifer Lopez and Chris Judd. 9-month marriage, flash romance, or media strategy? In 2001, shortly after breaking up with rapper Sean Diddy Combs, Jennifer Lopez suddenly announced her marriage to Chris Judd, a relatively unknown dancer. This news shocked the entertainment industry. In just a short time, from a backstage dancer, Chris Judd became a name sought after by the press. J-Lo, who was on the way to transforming from a Latin singer to a Hollywood star, also suddenly covered the world thanks to this unexpected love story. The marriage happened quickly, without fanfare, and also ended just as quickly, lasting only 9 months. Although the two had affirmed their sincere feelings, the media did not believe it so easily. Many newspapers called this a celebrity marriage, a type of mutually beneficial relationship. J-Lo strengthened her image as a showbiz queen, while Chris Judd stepped from the shadows into the spotlight overnight. However, when the spotlight faded, the relationship quickly revealed a lack of connection. The two could not find common ground and divorced amicably. Jennifer Lopez continued to rush into other noisy love affairs, while Chris Judd gradually withdrew from the spotlight, returning to his dancing career after briefly sharing about his marriage that had once overwhelmed him. The marriage of J-Lo and Chris Judd became a typical example of the intersection between love and showbiz glory, where everything can start from emotions, but end up due to the harsh calculations of fame and personal image. Jessica Alba Cash, Warren ending their 16-year marriage. Jessica Alba and Cash Warren were once considered one of Hollywood's most enduring couples, but in January 2025, they officially announced the end of their 16-year marriage. The initial news came when the two stopped wearing wedding rings and lived separately before Jessica herself confirmed on Instagram that they had grown together for 20 years, and now it's time to move on to a new chapter of personal growth. The actress emphasized that although they are no longer husband and wife, they will always be a family and their children will always be their top priority. On February 7, 2025, Jessica officially filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason and asking for shared custody of their children, both legally and physically. According to court documents, their separation date is set for late December 2024. There were no major scandals or conflicts, but simply after many years together, both felt that the relationship was just like housemates with daily responsibilities. After the breakup, Cash Warren moved out of the shared house in Los Angeles, while Jessica Alba began to enjoy the single life, participating in light dates, but not looking for a serious relationship. She focused on her acting career with a new film project, while still appearing fresh on the red carpet and fashion events. For his part, Cash appeared comfortable and even publicly congratulated Jessica when it was rumored that she had a new relationship. Although they are no longer on the same path, Jessica Alba and Cash Warren still maintain a friendship, appearing together on important occasions of their children. Their breakup, instead of being noisy and dramatic like many other Hollywood couples, brought the image of a civilized ending when both chose to respect and cherish what they had, rather than clinging on in exhaustion.